speaker is? Well, our test speaker for today is our fellow Toastmaster, Sourav Dutta, with his speech title, My Way to Highway, Sourav Dutta.
Thank you, Contest Chair. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, do you know the person on the screen? Most of you probably do. Some of you don't. For those of you who do, this speech is going to be a reminder of the lessons that this gentleman taught us. This gentleman grew a company from $14 billion, 1-4, to $410 billion in just 20 years. This gentleman is the manager of the century, according to the Fortune magazine. This gentleman gave us iconic leadership lessons like boundaryless behavior and change before you have to. This gentleman, the world knows as Jack Welch, the CEO of General Electricals from 1981 to 2001. In 20 years, late Mr. Jack Welch has taken General Electricals from a company fighting for survival to a company that every company wants to be. But that is not the reason why I'm talking about Jack Welch here. I'm talking about Jack Welch because he was a giant. Giant as in get into action, not talking. You can make a note. Get into action, not talking. And how did he get into becoming a giant? By displaying pace-setting leadership. Pace-setting leadership, which is rare. Rare as in R, reflective. He reflected on what went well, what did not go well. A, adaptive. He made course corrections as he walked forward. What worked in the past will work in the future, not necessarily. R, responsive. Leadership that is on toes. Leadership that is always bringing into action, ready to get into action, inspire other people to get into action. E, exemplary. Lead the way. Walk the talk. Lead from the front. Do before you say. 123 days. That is the age of the Gabby's Toastmasters Club, from where I come from. And this pace-setting leadership is what we used to bring this club to where it is today. A journey which was never easy. The formation of this club in itself was a pace-setting experience. One fine morning, we woke up and found an email of Toastmasters International Convention. Few of us joined that convention, but all of us got interested. What is Toastmasters? This was somewhere late August. Within 24 hours, 23 people signed in for being a Toastmaster. In the next 24 hours, all the money was in an account. We were ready to charter our own club. And yet, we chartered only in the 11th of September. That was not the start of our problems. Or rather, that was the start of our problems. That was not the end of our problems. We had a pretty rough start. Things did not go as planned. So much so, we had 3 leadership changes in our executive committee. Our president, our vice president, public relations, and our vice president membership. 3 leadership changes even before the club turned 4 months. Yet, the Gabby's Toastmasters Club decided to surge ahead with pace-setting leadership. What did we do? What did I do as the club sponsor, as the VP education of the club? Use the same values of Jack Welch. Be boundaryless and change before you have to. That we have been boundaryless, the proof lies, Toastmasters, in me standing in front of you today. That we have been able to change before we needed to, before we had to, before we forced to. That is evident in how every member of the Gabbies is always displaying all these rare virtues. We are reflective. We see what is not going well, hence we make course corrections, even if that means leadership changes. We are adaptive. We make a strategy in terms of taking the club way ahead than what it should be according to norms. We are responsive. Across the region, outside Region 13, across all over the country that we live in India, there's several clubs which now knows that if there is one club which you can reach out to for a TMOD or a TTM or a general evaluator or evaluator, a speaker, that's Gabby's. And our leaders have led by examples, by themselves completing their levels, getting educational awards, inspiring people and leading from the front. That was our way to the highway of magic. Magic? Yes. Because today, a 123 days old club has 10 DCP points. Yes, we have a perfect 10 in our kitty before we completed 6 months. And 15 educational awards. And our members would have spoken in at least 50 meetings in various clubs across the world, taken up roles. And today, we are even coaching another club, helping that club revive. So that's the formula for magic. Pace setting leadership. Contest chair.
Thank you so much, Sourav. Honestly, this was a very inspirational speech. I can totally relate to all of what you said. We have similar stories, but I'm really